this is obviously a significant fixture for the club. It was your first ever Premier League game. Sort of two-part question. One, does it seem like a lifetime ago? And two, you're now part of the furniture in the Premier League. How proud are you of what you've achieved in those last 2.5 seasons?
Yeah, it's crazy how time fly by you, and you just look forward and onto the next task or the next game or life. It just goes so quick. But of course, that day, of course, I think we all remember that because it was the first game in the Premier League and we had a positive result against a fantastic club. So of course that's fantastic. We are very proud of what all of us have achieved together. We're also very aware that we need to keep pushing and keep improving and keep doing everything we can to keep being an asset to the Premier League.
Yeah, we know, of course, that it'll be Aaron Ramsdale playing in goal for them tomorrow because of David's situation. Are you surprised at how quickly he's gone in there and become the number one for Arsenal?
Yes and no. I think Ramsdale is a very, very good keeper as well. Obviously biased towards David. I work with him. I know him inside out. I know what he's capable of. So in that sense, it's not a surprise. But I think Ramsdale is a very good keeper as well, and that's up to Arteta to take that decision.
There's lots of talk about Arsenal making the loan deal permanent. Is your hunch that David's played his last game for Brentford?
I think it'd be a surprise if he hasn't. I think it makes sense. He came there. He's playing more or less every minute for them. So I think that's what I expect. If not, then we have another good keeper back.
Another man who Arsenal have had an interest in for a long time is Ivan Toney, and every week we're getting closer and closer to Ivan coming back. How excited are you about having him back? But also, how much are you dreading being asked by people like us every single week about him being linked to this club or that club, and etc.?
The last bit I'm pretty tired of, but I know it's part of the game that I need to answer these questions. Very excited for him to be close and back in the team. First period he was not allowed in, as we know. Now he's been training with us. It's been nice for all of us, but of course mainly for Ivan. And now I think we soon get close to really look forward to get him back into the team. It's still a little bit early for me. I hope he really, not hope, I know his focus is, to get back, hit the ground running. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Just final question from me about what we can expect on the touchline tomorrow. And every manager has his own style on the touchline, but Mikel Arteta is, shall we say, quite animated and quite vocal with the fourth officials. Do you have any concerns that sometimes decisions might go Arsenal's way because he can be quite influential with the officials?
No, not at all. I think we all coaches are sometimes too. I can speak for myself. I'm not perfect. I try really to keep my temper, to not discuss too much with the fourth official because basically they can't influence too much. And I think too many times we let the steam out on them. Definitely speaking myself, I've done that a few times, and every single time after the game I'm thinking, what did you do, Thomas? Why? Come on. It's only so I'm always blaming myself after. Because what they can't do anything. There's a guy in the middle who's taking all the decisions, and the two linesmen, he can't control what they're doing, and we are always angry about that. So I think it's good to have a good communication with them before and after games. Probably not straight after games, but during the week if possible, to try to. We all have one aim: better games, better referees, better coaches, so we all want to develop it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks. Hi Thomas, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
I know you said earlier you have great memories of that first Premier League game against Arsenal, that win under the lights. What will it take to do the same, beat them again tomorrow?
Yeah, it would be tough. We know that very tough. Arsenal, I think that night I don't think can take anything away from our win. But that night, that team, and the team we're facing tomorrow, they have definitely been on the upward trajectory, and been a big development in the team and the level. So it'll be an even bigger task tomorrow to do it. We know we're good at home. We know in general that we fear nobody, respect everyone hugely. I respect Arteta and his coaching staff, two good former colleagues in Nico and Iñaki. Yeah, I just completely lost it there. Iñaki, they were here with us. That I respect massively for their abilities as coaches, and the coaching staff. I think the players they're really good. But I know we have a chance against any team. Arsenal know the same. So I hope it'll be a fantastic game. I hope we hit a top level. We hit the top level, like a top Brentford performance. And we need the fans to help us. The fans need to be absolutely on it from first minute. Then I will make sure, do my very best to make sure the players are absolutely on it. I will be on it, and then hopefully we can have a fantastic game that we win, of course.
It's Mikel Arteta's 200th game as Arsenal manager. What's your opinion on the job he's done at Arsenal, and how highly do you rate him?
I think it's very impressive, the job he's done. Coming from, I can't remember what they finished, but they were just above mid-table the first year, to really starting to build something, change the culture, I would say, implement a lot of young players in the team, players that just have been taking another level, especially Saka, Martinelli, Ødegaard, the young centre-backs. There's a lot, Saliba, Gabriel, really improved. And from being a club that were fighting to get into the Champions League, they got into the Champions League, and actually now last year competed for the Championship, and again competed this year for the Championship. I think that's very impressive.
You've spoken about your first game against Arsenal, which was obviously an amazing success. Obviously, very contrasting game at the GTEC last season. What do you think happened in that game? Was that Arsenal simply being too good, or was it an off day for you?
I think Arsenal was very good that day. I don't think we hit the highest level, but they won fair and square that day. So I hope we will get closer to the performance we had in the Carabao Cup and last year at the Emirates, where it was a 1-1 draw, which was a completely fair result of the game, which was quite impressive at that stadium.
And what have you made of Arsenal this season? Are they a better team this season to the one that you played last season, do you think?
Ooh. Good question. I think they are easily as good as they were last year, and I think especially Raya has been a big lift for them in general. And then you still have young players in Saka and Martinelli that are raising the bars. So in that sense, that they could be better, but probably too early to say.
And just lastly from me, you mentioned David, who's obviously not playing. Aaron Ramsdale's in goal tomorrow, and he's playing a goal with a point to prove, which is a sort of interesting situation for a goalkeeper. Is that something that you think you can benefit from?
No, I don't think so. I think I really believe he's a very good keeper, Ramsdale. I think the last game he played Carabao Cup, he had a clean sheet and he was unbelievable. He had some unbelievable saves. So I'm pretty sure he would like to do everything he can to get another clean sheet.
Brilliant, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else under? Yes, sir.
Hey, Thomas, I'm Manas from Sports Gazette. And Christopher Ayer has been rewarded with a new contract for his consistency. And tomorrow he'll be up against one of the wingers who he just said are raising the bar, Saka or Martinelli. Any specific plans for him against those wingers?
Close him down. That would be a big challenge, of course. I'm a big believer. Of course, there will be a lot of 1v1 situations that Christopher needs to solve on the ground, in the air, duels. But as a team, we need to solve the threat from Martinelli and Saka and other players, Ødegaard and Jesus and who else in Ketchia will play. But in that situation, hopefully also sometimes we can double up. So we're playing 2v1. That will help a lot.
Right. Mikel Arteta. It's his 200th appearance as Arsenal boss. What do you think is the one factor that makes him stand out from the rest?
Rest what?
Rest of the managers. He has been relatively successful in his time at Arsenal.
Yeah. No, only looking from the outside, I see it. I look at the team the manager is in charge of, in this case Arteta, and then I look how structured they are, offensively, defensively, and I think Arsenal is a structured team in my opinion, and so definitely I think he done that very well. There's clear principles offensively, defensively, and it seems like he created a culture where they were a little bit in between things. Again, looking from the outside, to be more like a unit, and there's bigger togetherness. It seems to be.
A quick one on David again, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's coming for a bit of criticism so far at Arsenal, and obviously having replaced Ramsdale, who did well last season, it's a big talking point. But from your experience working with him, do you think he can be that goalkeeper to maybe help take Arsenal to the next level and win the Premier League?
The criticism I don't know because I haven't followed that. I know David, of course, inside out, and his one of the things that always impressed me is his mentality, and especially his mentality to cope with, let's say, mistakes. You make mistakes, boom, and then you move on. Because in life and football, you make a lot of mistakes. Keepers, if they make mistakes, no matter who they are, it's crucial. But he always been a person and a keeper that moved on quick from that. And I think that's a huge skill set in elite football. And yes, I think he got all the skill set to. He is a top keeper. He's playing for Arsenal, one of the best teams in the world. But to keep improving and do very well for Arsenal.